How's it going? I'm the Swordsman, and as usual, I review swords, so here we go again. This is another Lord of the Rings slash Hobbit knockoff. Now, I have many of these weapons, however, this one is probably one of the nicest out of all the knockoffs that I have. This is uh, a versioning of Glamdring, of Gandalf the White from Lord of the Rings. Um, as you can see, because it has the white handle and the white scabbard, I added the frog here myself. That's a custom piece. I wouldn't worry about that. Um, Now I got this piece from SharpEdgeSwords.com. This is actually the exact same website I got a couple other swords from, like the sword of Halabel from the anime Bleach, etc. Now this weapon. Again, it's a Lord of the Rings knockoff, just like the Narsil that I previously reviewed. Um, at SharpEdgeSwords.com, this was $49.99, not an official licensed replica. That's why it's a knockoff. Let me start by telling you why. Okay, first off, nowhere near to size or scale as the original Glamdring that the official licensed Glamdring, which I have reviewed. As you see there, I do have the official licensed Glamdring with the scabbard of Gandalf the White, because they do not offer the scabbard for Gandalf the Grey, which is a blue scabbard, which is funny because you think Gandalf the Grey, you would think there'd be a gray scabbard, but no, it's blue. Now, first off, another thing that's not accurate about this, the handle is not supposed to be white. Now, obviously, the scabbard of Gandalf the White was white, but the sword of Glamdring, the handle on the sword was still supposed to be blue, a dark blue, just like it is on the official licensed replica. So no idea why they made the handle white as well. Which kind of disappointed me, because it's made out of the type of leather that if you don't make sure you have clean hands when handling this, you will eventually get it nice and dingy, and it'll start to show dirt. Which is kind of disappointing. The pommel, again, not is also not accurate. I guess it's as accurate as you could get it, but it's actually pretty solid. I was surprised about that. They had the basic design of Glamdring down. The main things was obviously the scabbard is not detailed correctly. This part here, not as detailed as it should be. This part here is actually wrong altogether. That's not like that at all on the official licensed replica of the scabbard. Now the crossguard to the sword, you'll probably notice. Well, it looks like Glamdring. It's got the engravings, the Elvish inscription. Well, if I can get a closer shot of it, it's not really an engraving. It's more of it's more abrasive. It actually protrudes and sticks out. It's kind of like braille. It's not actually engraved into the sword. It's just kind of overlaid on top of it. And also, right here is supposed to be the fox blue gem on both sides, which is on the official license version, but not on this sword. No idea why they decided to leave it out. Maybe they weren't able to put it on there for whatever reason. But if you're going to try to make people believe that this is an official licensed replica, you should at least make it as accurate as possible, or at least you would think. Now, overall, this sword is 37.5 inches, which is totally wrong, because if anyone's seen my official licensed Glamdring review, you'd know that the sword Glamdring is actually almost 50 inches long. So this is, you're taking off a good 13.5, maybe 14 inches of length that should be there, which is not present on this model, on this version of the sword. Even aside from the fact that the pommel and the crossguard and the scabbard, they all look as much like the sword, I guess, as the person who made it could get it. To the original official licensed replica. So a lot of these aesthetic things were forgiving on this weapon. The one thing that I could not forgive when I got this, and I was kind of excited when I got this again, it was only a $50 sword from Sharp Edge Swords. I knew it wasn't going to be an official licensed replica, but the description in the picture made it look like it was an official licensed replica. So when I got this and I took it out of the scabbard, yeah, disappointing is the one word that came to mind. This sword does not resemble anything the official licensed Glamdring replica has. Let me discard the scabbard for a moment. Now, again, it's supposed to have a blue handle, not white. It's supposed to have a fox blue gem here, which doesn't. These are supposed to be engraved into the sword, which they are not. They're actually sitting above it, abrased. And then there's the blade. Now, while this blade it's made of cheap steel. I'm not quite sure where this blade was made or what it was made from, but it's a cheap type of steel. I'm thinking maybe just a cheap type of stainless steel. It could be 340, could be 410. I'm not quite sure. I know it's not 440. It did come somewhat sharp, like I said, but the length was so totally disappointed. I mean, come on, there's barely even a point on this. I mean, give me a break. There's no blood groove whatsoever, and obviously on the official licensed version of Glamdring, the blade should be much wider and should have a little bit of a fantasy cutout coming out from the crossguard, which this does not have. This is just a pure, straight blade. Again, this was from SharpEdgeSwords.com. I don't think anybody else even offers this right here, and I don't even know how many they have left. So whoever was making these swords, they were obviously making them as cheap knockoffs. Basically, you know, you could buy them cheaply for gifts for friends and family. You know, you don't want to spend, you know, $200 on an official licensed replica if you're just going to give it away. I know I wouldn't. I would definitely keep it. But again, knockoffs. I love them and I hate them at the same time. They're like I said before, my Narsil, my knockoff Narsil review. It's a guilty pleasure. I can't help it. You see it for a good price, and you just grab it. I mean, you don't even really think. I did eventually get the official licensed Glamdring, so anyone planning on buying a knockoff, I really hope that you already have an official licensed replica, or you plan on getting an official licensed replica sometime in the future, because you can't, I mean, this is just wrong. I mean, it's fun to look at, it's a nice wall hanger, but it's almost a slap in the face to true fans and the people who made the films, and they bothered to put their time and money into something that they thought was really grand, and then, you know, you expect to see that, and then you get this. I mean, come on, got to put a little bit more effort into it. Again, I do have more Lord of the Rings knockoffs. I'll give you another before I put this away here. I'll give you another quick look at that. And anyone who's seen my official licensed Glamdring review, you can use this video as a reference and tell people that there are knockoffs out there. And don't be fooled by what you see on websites, because they are not, you know, they're not always true, not always accurate. You know, people will do and say anything to make a quick buck from you. Alrighty then. So, I hope you enjoyed that. This was part 2 of my Lord of the Rings knockoff specials. Until next time, I'm the Swordsman, and I want you to keep it real. Later.